Welcome back to Chalisco Crypto. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's discuss Bitcoin, let's discuss crypto. Let's see what is happening in the world of crypto, guys. So guys, as you guys can see, Bitcoin and crypto is still holding strong. So Bitcoin is still trading above $102,000. So we are still hovering between $100,000 and $3,000. So let's say we are still trading above $103,000, as you guys can see on the screen, so which is fantastic. So let's discuss Bitcoin, let's discuss crypto, let's discuss the importance of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So most people don't even know how scarce Bitcoin and most of the crypto is. So Bitcoin has the scarcity of Bitcoin. So guys, let's see what is happening in the market, man. Let's dive into the market, guys. Okay, so yeah, good evening, guys. I'm streaming a little bit late. So, guys, let's discuss the importance of Bitcoin and crypto, guys. Let's see what is happening in the market. Seconds, let's dive in. Yeah, evening. Miraculous, how are you doing? Guys, as you guys can see, we're on weekend, so the market is still, it's still holding strong. So there's not much volume. So there's not much volume, but the market is still holding strong. So it is still trading between almost 1,500. So even if Bitcoin is still hovering between, $100,000 and $3,000, SRP still holding between $2.30. So most of the altcoins are still holding strong. Let's dive into the market, guys. Yeah. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing good. How are you guys? I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend. So, guys, I know it's weekend, so we won't be wasting so much time. You guys are enjoying the weekend. So, guys, it's crazy. Let me mute the volume. Good. So, guys, let's dive into the market, man. So, guys, as you guys can see, yeah, happy weekend, guys. Kingdom, how are you all doing? Akachi, Miraculous, Joe Boy, how are you guys doing? Yeah, guys, the market is still holding strong. So one thing is that today, so let's discuss the importance of Bitcoin, how scarce Bitcoin is, the scarcity of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So let's dive into this. So guys, as you guys can see on the screen, so this is the Bitcoin ownership distribution, just as of just about of the May 12th. So this is the chart of May 12th. So this is the Bitcoin distribution. So a lot of people don't know how scarcity Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is. So this is how scarcity Bitcoin is. As of today, as you guys can see, the individuals so are holding 68.2% of the Bitcoin supply. So as you guys can see, so which is 40.3 million Bitcoin. So let's head over here. So you guys can see, businesses are holding 5.1% of the total Bitcoin supply as of today. So we show that this is how scarcity this asset is. So let's go through. So we have we'll be going through the chart. So this is the first and ETF. So even if ETF, which are still buying every single day, but even if as of today, ETF are still holding 1.3 million Bitcoin, which is about 6.4% of total Bitcoin supply, which is crazy. We show that so how decentralized Bitcoin is. So this is why a lot of people believe so much in Bitcoin. So this is why you can't hack Bitcoin, and it's so decentralized. So if you head over here, the government are holding 1.5%. They are not early in Bitcoin. So this is why most of the government, they don't like Bitcoin. So and Bitcoin is so transparent, which most of you guys know that. So Bitcoin is so transparent, and every transaction is on blockchain and so transparent. So if you head over here, Satoshi, which is the founder of Bitcoin. So Satoshi, even if as of today, yeah, good evening, guys. Treka, how are you all doing? Reverend, how are you doing? I'm good, guys. June, how are you doing? So, guys, as you guys can see, Satoshi Satoshi Patomi, which is the founder of Bitcoin, today, as of today, even if Satoshi is holding, 4.6 million of the supply of Bitcoin. So, which is fantastic. So, this is how decentralized it is. So, even if a Satoshi Bitcoin, we have to consider it as a loss. That is because, so the last time we hear from Satoshi, so that was his between 2011 when he made his last tweet about Bitcoin, when he said that so the work of Bitcoin has finished, so let the world take over. So that was his last tweet, which was about 2011. So even if that the wallet of Satoshi today, there is no move from even if one Bitcoin from out from the wallet. So even if that one, we can even consider it as a loss. So guys, we have over here. That's entities, they are holding 1.3% of the total Bitcoin supply. Yeah, good evening, guys. So, Sita, how are you all doing? So, guys, let's discuss Bitcoin. As you guys can see, so guys, discuss the importers. As you guys can see, so the importers of the importers of Bitcoin. The seconds, guys. So let's dive into the market. So the importers of Bitcoin. So this is how important this asset is. So how the scarcity of Bitcoin. A lot of people don't know how scarce this asset is. This is the asset that has a mass supply of 21 million. And you guys can see the distribution here. So other entity are already holding 1.3% of the supply. When the total Bitcoin that has been considerably lost as of today. Yeah, guys, how are you all doing? So the total Bitcoin, which have been considerably lost as of today, is 7.6% of the supply, which have been considerably lost. So you guys know this is about a few 3 days ago during my live stream. I said, okay, so the Bitcoin which the miners still have to mine is about 1.2 million Bitcoin, which even if I miscalculated, so it's still not even up to 1.2 million Bitcoin. As you guys can see, the total Bitcoin that the miners has to be mined as of today is 1.4 million Bitcoin, which the miners have to mine. Let me take my camera out so you guys can see there. So this is the total Bitcoin which the miners have to be mined is 5.4%, which is 1.4 million Bitcoin, which the miners have to be mined. We show that so this asset. So even if the miners which are around the world today, they only have 1.4 million Bitcoin to be mined, which is just about 5.4% of the total Bitcoin supply. So this is how scarce this asset is. So guys, so buy Bitcoin today, even if you can see it on the screen, when Bitcoin is still trading between $103,000. So you are still early in the market. So that is because the asset is so scarce. So and this asset is so scarce. So so this is as you guys can see, the individuals, those are the people who are still, who are still pushing it to the market. So who are selling and buying, which as you guys can see, so which is about the 68.2% of the supply. So which even if a lot of people don't even know about, a lot of people don't even know the key phrase of their address. So which is crazy. So we show that this is how scarce Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is so scarce. So if you are still buying today using a DCA, dollar cost average, you are still early in the market, guys. So Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. This is how scarce this asset is. So as you guys can see, the individual is already holding 68.2%, when businesses are already holding 5.1%. So the funds and ETF are already holding 1.6. Okay, sorry, I take that back. The individual are already holding 5.1%. So when the funds are already holding 6.4%, which is 1.3 million. That is what I wanted to say. When the governments are already holding 1.5%. So most of the government, they are not early in crypto. So that is why most of them do not like Bitcoin. They do not believe in Bitcoin and crypto. So now when they want to buy, like even if the US, when they already add their Bitcoin to their reserve, if they want to buy, they have to buy in a higher price. But it's not that way higher. So, Bitcoin already has a 21 million in supply. So, which the individuals are already holding 14 million Bitcoin, almost about 14.5, which is a 14.32 million Bitcoin, which the individuals are already holding. Businesses are already holding, 1.1 million Bitcoin, and firms are already holding 1.3 million. Government are holding 330,000. Yes, because if you head over here, so which will be looking into that. So the Bitcoin country holders, which is a country holders. So government are still holding 316,000. If you head over here, Satoshi is holding 968,000. When other entities are holding 266,000, which is crazy. So guys, a lot of people are still, we are still early in the market. So Bitcoin only has, which is 1.4 million for the miners to mine over the next few years, over the next 10 years, over the next 20 years, over the next 30 years, over the next 40 years, the next 50 years. Only 1.4 million Bitcoin, which the miners have to mine, as you guys can see it over here. The miners just have a they just have a 1.4 million Bitcoin for them to mine. So even if when the market is still going up and down today, that is because we all know that once the market is down, a lot of people will be scared, a lot of people will be buying. So whenever the market is down, a lot of people buying, a lot of people are scared selling into the market. If you look into the fear and greediness, yeah, we are very early in the market, Akachi. So we are still early in the crypto market. So we are still early. The Bitcoin adoption is going wide. So a lot of people don't even still know about Bitcoin. So if you look into the fear and greediness, you guys can see a day like today is already down. Just about 3 days ago, it was above, let's quickly see. This was between 75. The fear and greediness was already between 75 just about a few days ago. But you guys can see, it's now between 68, which show that people are being fearful once again. This is why I always say, try to make sure you take profit. It's very, very important to take profit. That's because once the market is down, it's very easy for people to start fearful once again. Yeah, the fear and greediness just about a few 2-3 days ago, we were still trading. It was between 75, but a day like today is between 68. But we are still up, but it's not like a few days ago. We show that a lot of people are being so scared. That is because Bitcoin did down from $104,000 to $103,000, just between $1,000. So people are being fearful once again. So guys, there's a lot of fantastic news about Bitcoin and crypto. We show that so Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. We are still early in the market, guys. Let's see. Fidelity says that Bitcoin acceleration phase is still continuing. So this is just like what I'm saying. So he said that the new all-time high is coming anytime soon. So as you guys, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. So as you guys can see it over here, so this is Fidelity. So they are still buying. So if you head over here, this is BlackRock. So let me quickly bring it. This is the country. So which I was saying just now. So this is the country, even if US. So this is countries holding Bitcoin. But if we head over here, the ETF, you guys can see, even if the Fidelity, they are still buying, they are still holding 194,000 Bitcoin. That is why they believe in the assets. So they believe in the assets. So that is why they are still buying. You guys can see that, BlackRock are now holding 631,000 Bitcoin. It's crazy, man. Whoa. Let me, it's like, it's like a rocket, man. The guys keep buying. People like BlackRock, they keep buying and buying and buying. Over the past 30 days, BlackRock have been buying. Since on the 15th of April, they have not sold even a single Bitcoin. You guys can see that, the last time they said they sold their Bitcoin was between on the 9th of April. That is when they sold their 1,091 Bitcoin. But you guys can see that from on the Yeah, those big boys they keep buying and buying and buying. So as you guys can see, since on the 15th, since on the 15th of April, they have been buying and buying and buying and buying. Look at this date here on the 28th of April. So they added the 10,295.6.3 Bitcoin. So they have been buying and buying and buying since on the 15th of April to date. You know, they are big buying, but it's still not affecting the price. That is because they are using an OTC, buying from people like Coinbase, which are still holding a huge amount of Bitcoin. But don't forget, in the next few years, OTC market will finally dry up. Boom! That is when a Bitcoin will skyrocket to all-time high, guys. So this is why we are still early in the market. The thing I'm always saying is that so try to make sure you take profit if you are in profit. If you are in profit, it's very very important. That is because you can't predict the market 100%. So if history is on our side, we don't have so much time left. We have between about 5 months left. If history is on our side, that's because over the past few years, Bitcoin and crypto, we have been following the 4 year cycle. But even if when a lot of people are still predicting at least super cycle, so I still don't believe in maybe we're in super cycle. From yet, that's because people like Coinbase still hold a huge amount of Bitcoin. You guys can see, like even if when BlackRock are still buying a huge amount of Bitcoin every single day, it's still not affecting the market. So BlackRock, they don't want to buy from the open market. They don't even want the price to go up. So they don't want to buy from the open market. And that's because they want to save money for the fee. So when they buy from a Coinbase will even give them discount. Let's say, for example, if they want to buy 1 billion worth of Bitcoin, Coinbase may even decide to give them 1 Bitcoin, which is nothing to them. Which is nothing to them. So Coinbase, for example, will give them discount, which is for sure. So it will give them discount. So this is why they keep using that OTC market. So, but one day OTC market will finally dry up, which is for sure. That is when Bitcoin and crypto will start booming. So, guys, we are still early in the market. The big boys keep accumulating more Bitcoin every single day. They keep buying and buying and buying and buying. As you guys can see, just about a few days ago, it was still not even up to. It was still hovering. The total Bitcoin was still hovering between 1,170 something. But a day like today, the total Bitcoin ETF holding, they are now holding 1,180,982 Bitcoin, which worth about which is still worth about 121 billion dollars, which is crazy. So so sorry guys, no, yeah, 121 billion. 121 billion, 715 million, 655,000, no, 657,725 dollars. So that is how huge the big boys are still in the market. They keep buying and buying, keep accumulating. So I showed you guys about that was yesterday during my live stream that NFTs, when I pick up within $10, $12, $12, $15. When I was flipping back 5 months ago, when there was up with about 5 to 10x, when there was now trading between $300. But now, so I took profit then. So even if as of today, those NFT are now trading between $50, I'm still in profit, but I can still buy back double. That is because I take profit. That is the power of taking profit, guys. Guys, if you have any question, drop it on the chat. And as always, don't forget to share the stream with your friends and family so they can learn about Bitcoin. You guys can see we are still early in the market. So that the next few years, when Bitcoin is trading between $1 million per coin, which is for sure it will happen. But I think it won't happen this cycle, but it will happen. But they won't blame you that you did tell them about Bitcoin and crypto. So let's see what next, guys. This is Jack Dorsey, guys. Jack Dorsey, which is the founder of S, so which is back then it was called Twitter, so which is called S today. So Jack Dorsey, so which is now building his own, which is a Bitcoin wallet. So he's working on his own Bitcoin wallet. What Jack Dorsey is saying here is that we don't need the banks anymore. So what we need is to just does Bitcoin. So Jack Dorsey said that so it's to just Bitcoin is what we need. We don't need we don't need the banks anymore, which is for sure. a day like today, the banks is closed. Tomorrow, the banks is closed, but Bitcoin is open 247. 24 hours, Bitcoin is open. So we show that, we have to embrace this asset. It has a mass supply, a limit supply, mass supply of 21 million, which I've showed you guys on the chart every single day. So this is where, which you guys can see it over here. The calculation of which we will see just now, for you guys to see that it's not a lie. You guys can see it over here that the circulation supply of today is 90.86 million, which is already in circulation. So we only have which is 1.14 million Bitcoin for the miners to mine, which you guys can see it over here. Let me on the camera again, so you guys can see it over here. We only have 14 million Bitcoin, which is just about 5.4% of the Bitcoin supply for the miners to mine in the next 100 years. So we show that we are still early in the market. We only have which is 1.14 million Bitcoin. So for the miners to mine, which is just about 4.5% of the total Bitcoin supply for the miners to mine over the next years, guys. So guys, we are still early in the market, so you don't have to be scared. So all you just need to do is to keep using a dollar cost average. Let's see what next. This is what Jack Dorsey is saying. So we have to embrace Bitcoin. That is because a day like today, the banks are closed, but Bitcoin is open 247. So we don't even need the banks anymore. So guys, even if I showed you guys, my BYBIT debit card, so even if you are using a BYBIT debit card, as of today, they will be giving you you shall be using a BYBIT debit card, they will be giving you how much? So if you are using a BYBIT debit card as of today, each transaction, if you make payment, they will be giving you between almost about 1 to 2% in in points. So which I still have between almost about $100 and something just between for using their card. But in bank, they will be debiting you for using their card, which is crazy. So the decentralization of Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. So guys, this is another headline over here. Panama City. So the mayor, after meeting with the El Salvador leaders, so now he is working so hard. At least, we all know that El Salvador, they'll be buying a Bitcoin over the past few years. They'll be buying, even if when IMF tell them that so if they keep buying Bitcoin, they will low money for them. They have been buying. So I see guys can see it over here, which is the Panama City's mayor teases Bitcoin reserve after meetings El Salvador's Bitcoin leaders, which is crazy. So we show that so more people have been dosing Bitcoin. More countries have been trying working so hard at least to create a Bitcoin treasure, even a Bitcoin reserve, which the US already did that. Just about a few months ago, the US already had Bitcoin to their reserve. So they haven't started buying yet, but they already had, which is, you guys can see it over here, countries. I'm not just telling you guys that. The country holding Bitcoin, so they already added their 207,000 Bitcoin to their reserve, which is, this is the Bitcoin, which is the FBI confiscated from hackers years back. So they already added to their reserve. And Senator Loomis is working on it at least for the US to buy 1 million Bitcoin. So, which is almost about 4% of the Bitcoin supply. And this is what I always say. Even when they want to buy, they want the price. They want to buy in the lower price. So at least they will be buying from people like buy from people like Coinbase. We still hold they still hold between 2.7 million Bitcoin in their management at least. So, but in the next few years, when this OTC market finally dry up, boom. So guys, for sure, always smash the like and press the subscribe button, and don't forget to always share the stream with your friends and family. You share the stream alone and always tuning in, so it will give you an opportunity to win crypto from me. So, which I know, and I still want to tell you guys thank you, because you guys always tune in, and I can see that the channel is growing so hard, so growing so much. So we show that so at least In the next few years, I will all meet you guys in a Bitcoin conference. So maybe Bitcoin conference 2020, Bitcoin conference 2030. So I will meet you guys all there. So I know you guys will be attending this one. I wanted to attend this one, which is Las Vegas, but let's see. But there's a lot of work to do, at least to get there, man. Visa and this thing. So here in Europe, even if get it themselves, so guys, just get it or believe. What you just need to do is to keep using a DCA so that you will be in a huge profit in the next few years. So guys, this is this one over here, another headline. Bitfinex, Bitcoin log total is between about 6.8 billion. This shows you that how people are still bullish in the market. As you guys can see, so we have between 6.8 billion Bitcoin in log, and short we have between 25 million. So a lot of people still short the market with about $25 million. As you guys can see it here, people still short the market with about $25 million, but people log into the market with about $6.8 billion. This is trading with leverage. Most of them is leverage. So which you guys know, as I always say, don't trade with leverage if you don't understand the market. People make money in leverage, but if you understand the market. But imagine coming into crypto and you don't know about crypto. So trading with leverage, coming and trading with leverage with about huge using leverage with about 10s 20s, and when the market finally get you wrecked, you will be you will be crying. So one thing is that don't trade with leverage if you don't know about leverage. So me myself, I do play with leverage once in a while, which I've shown you guys here. So when I'm trading with leverage, so some of my trade, so I do trade with leverage. So when it is time, a time like this, mostly wicked, so don't trade with high leverage, guys. And if you want to trade with leverage, you can use the 1s 2s. So leverage is like some of you guys who don't know what is called leverage. It's like borrowing against your money. You have $1,000 to trade. If you use 10s, that means you are trading with $10,000. You borrow extra $9,000 to your $1,000, and it's easy for you to get wrecked. So don't trade with leverage if you don't. At least spot trading is not bad. So when you buy in spot trading, if the market is down, good. So even if the market is coming up, your crypto is still there. Even if the market is still going down, and your crypto is still there, don't forget, one Bitcoin is equals to one Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin, we shall all achieve a financial freedom together. So guys, let's go. Let's see what happened here. Let's see what next. Stablecoin market reaches $2.46 billion. Guys, this is what I always say, taking profit. So this is about $2.46 billion that is sitting in. This is people holding, this is people holding a stable coin. They already convert them from fiat to stable coin. So this is just a USDT and a USDC. So this is money sitting in cash. Those people waiting for the market to dip down for them to buy. So, so whenever people say, oh, so I'm expecting the market to go down. So that is because those people hold a huge amount of cash, as you guys can see. So people are holding a $246 billion. $246.5 billion in their wallet. This is stable coin. People waiting for the market to dip down for to take the opportunity to accumulate more Bitcoin. So which is crazy. This is what I was saying. So if you ask me today, if the market should dip back down or to go up, I would prefer the market to dip back down. It's an opportunity for us to DCA for a long term. So guys, Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. So this is the opportunity of and the importance of investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So a day like today, which you guys all know, the banks are closed, but the Bitcoin is open. So Bitcoin never closed. 24/7, the market is open. If you want to sell, you can sell anytime. And if you want to buy, you can buy anytime. So that is the power of decentralization. So you don't even have to ask anybody, before you send your money to anyone. You don't even need the third party. So let's see what here. Donald Trump's call again the Fed, to which is Jerome Powell, to cut rate. So, but for sure, if Jerome Paul cut rate, it will really help the market, which is for sure. So cutting rates, so like for mostly here in Europe, people borrow to invest, people borrow to buy things. So this is why I was, but don't borrow to invest, guys. But so here in Europe, a lot of people borrow so much money to invest, but they can't borrow right now. That is because the rate is too high. For you to borrow money right now, maybe they'll say, okay, you have to be paying 8%. So in return, you have to pay at least 10%. You have to pay this so much percent. But one thing you need to know is that why is the rate still high? Why did the Jerome Paul don't want to cut rate? That is because the inflation is much. So if we start cutting rate, a lot of people will start borrowing money, and the inflation will still be going up. So Jerome Paul don't want to cut rates. That is because he think the inflation is too much. And which is Trump is saying he should cut rate. He don't want to cut rate because the inflation is too much. Our buying power keep going up every single day. The government keep printing much money. So that's why the inflation is here. If you maybe 2 years ago, you will be buying this with about $10. But now if you want to buy this, you'll be buying it with about $15. That's because the government keep printing endless money. So one of the assets you can't print more of it is Bitcoin. It has a mass supply. So you can't print more Bitcoin. You can't print more Bitcoin, but you can print more money. So this is why you need to invest in a strong asset that has a mass supply. So investing in an asset that has a mass supply gives you more power. So investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is very, very important, guys. So we are still early in the market. Don't think you are already too late. No. So Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. So as you guys can see, Donald Trump is still saying to Jerome Paul to cut rate. So Jerome Paul said no. It's still not cutting rate. That's because the inflation is too much. So if you start cutting rate, so the inflation will increase. So we show that, so one of the ways to keep buying Bitcoin, which is an asset that does not have inflation. The inflation of Bitcoin keep going down every single year. So just because the block supply every 4 years, each halving event, the block supply of Bitcoin cut the inflation by 50%. If the miners are receiving 10 Bitcoin as of now, in the next 4 years, each having event, so the block will cut the 10 Bitcoin to 5 Bitcoin. So the miners have to double their mining machine in order for them to mine equivalent of Bitcoin, which there was mining 4 years ago. So we show that the inflation of Bitcoin is insane. It's an asset which does not have inflation, and the fiat money, so it has inflation. That's why you need to go out from the fiat into Bitcoin. So let's see what next. Ron Paul sees NFT market exploding as Ethereum's book cycle approach. So guys, I don't even know if you are making a transaction in Ethereum these days. The Ethereum gas fee is between almost about 10 cents, which is crazy. I remember 2021, 2022, when I bought NFT and I paid almost a gas fee worth about $150 for just buying NFT worth about $200 or $300. So for you to trade NFT 2022, so you have to be ready to at least to pay gas fee whatever. Even if as of today, well, if I check into one of my wallets when I was using to trading NFT just about a few years back, I found out that I've paid almost about 0.98, which still worth almost about $2,300 for just gas fee, which is crazy. So now Ethereum gas fee has dropped down so much. So now, as you guys can see, even if Ron Paul is saying that, so NFT will be coming up once again, NFT will be exploding, which is for sure. So as I always say, everything is down right now, not just Bitcoin. Even if the stock market is down, like, let's quickly see, like we're on weekend. Let me see on CNBC. So CNBC, the European market is not bad. So the US market is still not bad. The Asia market is going crazy. It's down. So as you guys can see. So most of the NFTs are still, you guys can see it over here. The Ethereum gas fee is down. Let me see here. let me quickly see on Opusing how the NFTs are. So, guys, if you have any question, drop it on the chat. So let's do Q&A. The top performing the past all time. NFTs are still number. Even if a boy 8 years club is still hovering between a 12 ETH. Okay, crypto pork 46 ETH. It's still up huge, man. Rapid crypto. It's like which is Azuki NFTs are now down so much. It's still trading between 2.45 ETH. So guys, let's do Q&A. So most of the NFT are still they are still down, but as you guys can see, this is a crypto pork which was just a few years ago, 2017. People was giving them out for free. So this is the power of decentralization. Web3 is here to stay. NFTs are down right now, so in the next few years for sure, everything will be upwards again. So Q&A, guys. Before Q&A, let's look the markets. Let's see most of how the altcoins are down. We're on weekend, so there's not much volume in the market, as you guys can see. Let's quickly see the 7 days performance. Bitcoin is still stagnant. It's still flat. Bitcoin is still flat with the 7 days performance. It too is still flat. SRP is down, slightly down with about let's say 5%. So too is still slightly down. But the one thing is that it's still up. It's still up. It's still trading between $164. So which is still not bad. So if you have buy Solana, even if last cycle when Solana was when Solana did buy that to $10, a day like today you will still up. So as I always say, this year is very, very important. So I bought Solana life cycle. I hold Solana till up to $260, which was all-time high during 2021. So Solana did back down 2022 to about $10. I still bought Solana. So Solana, just January here, Solana went up to almost about Solana was trading between $296. So this, if you have take profit, a day like today, you'll still be able to buy more. So this is why I always say it's good to take profit. So guys, smash the like and press the subscribe button, guys. So most of the altcoins are still a day like today, they are slightly down, but not bad. Not bad. So Q&A, question and answer. Yeah. Evening, my man. How are you all doing? Freedom. I'm good, guys. Guys, we are keep pushing, man. So if Bitcoin did back down to like maybe if the market still did back down to like at least $60,000, $50,000. So then we will start sell. We will start looking for a job, maybe working in McDonald's, even if a seller. Michael Saylor, which is the CEO of Strategy, which is still holding a huge amount of Bitcoin. He said if Bitcoin did back down, we start working in McDonald's again. At least for us to have more money to accumulate more. For now, we are still working in crypto. So here every single day. So as you guys can see, guys, the mistake which I made over the past few years, so I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. This is why I'm here to encourage you guys to keep using this year, so you'll be able to achieve a financial freedom. So this is one thing we want to achieve. Imagine people still working so hard every single day, Monday to Friday, morning to evening. So in order for them to even have to even have a food in their table. But imagine if you have opportunity to buy $10 with Bitcoin. Just 2011 when Bitcoin was still trading below $1. A day like today, you still have it between almost $1 million. $1 million, you'll be able to live a life you want to live, at least travel around the world, eat good food. So this is the life we want to live, guys. So this is why, you don't even have to, stay with your Bitcoin or crypto for the market to go up. So it's just for more people to buy, for the price to go up. So this is why I believe so much in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I want us all to achieve this financial freedom together. So that's why I want us all guys to go on this journey together, to keep tuning in every single day. This is why I'm here every single day, to keep encouraging you guys to keep buying, so we'll all achieve a financial freedom together. before we before we start seeing which is 10 100x from here, Bitcoin. That is what you mean, Abi. 100x from here for sure. It may take 2 decades for if it's 100x from here for sure. It may take 2 decades. I believe that 100s. 100s will take us even if 10s will take us to $1 million. So 10s from here will take us to $1 million. 20s will take us to like $2 million. So 100s, that means it may take up to 2 decades for sure. It may take us to 2 decades. Yeah, above miracle of BTC going above 120K this cycle. That is a little bit for sure, a little bit difficult. So it may not happen this cycle, but for sure next cycle, yes. The market is already way too up. A lot of people don't even know that the bull market did not start when Bitcoin was $50,000. Okay, Bitcoin all-time low was last cycle was 16,000. So from $16,000 to 100 $109,000. So the market is already way too up. You guys know that. So this is why I say one of the best strategies to keep using DCA. So because we can't predict the top, we may still be heading up to at least to $110,000. One thing I see in the chart is that from now till next week, what in the chart is saying is that next week, if we could be able to break above $105,000, okay, the market will go up higher. But if we could not be able to break $105,000 next week, so we may be trading between this $100,000. We may even have a pullback to between $90,000. You don't have to be fearful, guys. Each time the market devalues out 10%, 20%. So I always say it's an opportunity. But take profit when you're in profit. It's very, very important to always take profit. So if Bitcoin devalue, if we could break $105,000 next week, the market will head up higher from there. But if we can't break $105,000 next week, so at least we may be trading between this $100,000 for at least for a while. So if we can't break it next week, the next week, I don't think so. So let's see what the market will give us next week. So we are on weekend, we don't have much volume. (2020 to 2021), I think BTC will consolidate around 100,000. 2020 to 2021, BTC was still not all-time high was 64,000. $64,000 was all-time high in 2020, 2021. Bitcoin all-time high was this is 2020, 2020. This is the 2020, 2021. So our all-time high was between 64,000. Yeah, that's 64,000. That is all-time high. So we was not up to $100,000. Miraculous. I can see you say in 2020, 2021, I think BTC is consolidating around 100K. So our all-time high 2020 was 64,000. 2020, 64. Even if I see 2020, 64,000. So then we did back down to $16,000 2022. So boom. So the bull market started since 2022. So now you guys can see we head up to $109,000 just January here. So we are slightly down. So we went slightly down to $74,000. Now the market is back up to $103,000, which still show that the market is still holding strong. Adewale said that so what meme coin will I buy? To me, meme coin, buying meme coin right now, like for example, I already trade meme coin right now. So the time to buy meme coin, when I was buying meme coin, is that time when Bitcoin was still trading between that 16,000, when Bitcoin was trading between 20,000, when Bitcoin was still trading between 24,000. Then, so I was buying the meme coin, which was around back then. So right now, if I want to buy meme coin, that may be because maybe, I have some information that, so one meme coin is launching today. And I find out that the team which are launching it is a good team. You get that? So I'm happy. So when I get the contract address, so boom, I enter it to my Phantom wallet, which you guys can see it over here. So I tell my Phantom wallet, copy it, which I also have it on my smartphone. So copy the contract address and buy. So that is when I think that so maybe because 99% of the meme coin right now, they are not surviving. So 99% of the meme coin, they rob. So you only need to have at least information before you dive into the meme coin market. So don't just buy meme coin because anybody is telling you, oh, this meme coin will be popping. No. So I will buy meme coin right now. If I think that the team which are launching it, let's say for example, Kanye West is launching his meme coin right now. So most of the time, so all I just need is for me to be refreshing Kanye West Twitter account. I will stay here on Twitter. So what I will do is that I will stay on this is my Twitter account. So I will be refreshing Kanye West Twitter account. Once he drop his CA contract address, boom. Once he drop his CA, so then I will copy the contract address and I buy. So if the market is up, if I'm up with about few S, so I will have to take profit. At least take meme coin. At least I will be taking at least 95% profit and leave the 5%. So if the market drop, boom. If the market still stay up, so I will. If the market still stay up, I will. I will still have some meme coin there. So buying meme coin right now is not a good time. Even if altcoin, one of the cryptocurrency which I can be buying, even if a day like today, is Bitcoin. That is because I still believe Bitcoin will be here in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. So, like Ethereum, SRP, and Solana, they have so much competitor. So, more protocols are coming out every single day. Like, for example, we all know that, most of the NFT are in Solana, most of the NFT are also on Ethereum. But more protocols are coming out every single day when, a lot of people keep. A lot of people, competitor keep coming out every single day. So Bitcoin is totally different because Bitcoin is a store of value, which most of you guys know that it's an asset that has a mass supply guarded by code. So it's a store of value powered by miners. So it's totally different from other Bitcoin is totally different from other altcoin. So that is why one of the coin which if I'm using a DCA right now, I will be buying it to Bitcoin. So I may also consider Ethereum and Solana if I'm using a DCA. But buying meme coin now to hold for a long time is not a good time. I will be expecting the market to dip back down to. So when I think that, oh, okay, even if we can't predict the bottom too, but when I think, oh, we already dip back down so much. Let's say for example, Bitcoin dip back down at least 50% from here. If we dip back down to $50,000, it's a good time to buy for sure. That is because the miners who are powering Bitcoin back then, they will almost run out in profit. And our all-time low usually be when the miners are running out in profit. So back then, most of the miners will be people who are powering Bitcoin. Most of them will be selling their mining machine, or they will be stopping their mining machine. That is when the bottom usually in the market, guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now miraculous. Now I get your question. Okay, yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah, you are 100% right, miraculous. It's a historical sign for sure. So, but a lot of people are still predicting which is a super cycle, but I don't think so. So I don't think so, guys, because those big boys like Coinbase, they are still holding a huge amount of Bitcoin. In people like which you guys can see it on chain, people like BlackRock, when they are still buying, they are still not buying from open market. When we started having a super cycle, is when those big boys we start have buying from when those big boys we start buying from open market. So that is when I think the super cycle will be in. So you guys can see they keep adding, even if as of now BlackRock just add. So just when we was looking at it just now, they was holding between a 630. Now they're now holding a 631,962 Bitcoin. So those big boys keep buying from the open market. So guys, I will see you all tomorrow. He has not posted CA yet to favor Kanye West, but he wanted to post CA, wanted to launch his meme coin, wanted to launch meme coin a few months ago. But now he said that he will be launching it on his own chain. So he says he's working on his own chain. So he will be working on his own chain. He has between 38 million followers on his Twitter account, but he haven't launched it yet. But if for example he decide to launch, if he drops CA, but it will be going to the moon, and we all know that most of the celebrity meme coin right now they don't sustain. They may be up for the 24 hours or at least maximum of 48 hours, boom, because they does not have usage. But you guys also know which is and guys don't forget which is the Trump dinner is still in play. Let's quickly see the Trump meme coin. It's still hovering between almost about $13, $12.83. So Trump dinner will be happening next week. So the top 220 holders there will be opportunity to meet him to meet with President Trump. So guys, whoa, it's a weekend, man. We have discussed so much today, guys. So always share the stream with your friends and family. Don't forget to at least to always tune in. So always share the stream with your friends and family, just between at least 30 minutes a day. So at least to encourage you guys to keep using this year. So and share the stream with your friends and family. So in the next few years, when Bitcoin go up higher, they will say that they don't know about Bitcoin. You did not tell them about Bitcoin. Imagine just like if I have a friend right now that say, oh, when Bitcoin was trading between $8, so he know about Bitcoin. I will say, fuck you, man. So why did you tell me about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was trading between $1? So for sure. So we are still early in the market. So you don't have to be scared. Each time the market did back that, take it as an opportunity to keep using it this year. So guys, see you all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central European time. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I will try. So if that's why you need to turn on the notification bell so that each time that I'm live, you will get notified. We'll be able to discuss about Bitcoin and crypto. So see you all tomorrow, guys, 6 p.m. Central European time. And don't forget, you are smart and intelligent. With crypto, we shall all achieve a financial freedom.